Hi, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. We've already put up a video today, actually, on a difficult puzzle, but I just wanted to. I got an email this evening asking us to have a quick look at this puzzle, and the person in question had obviously done a lot of work, as you can see from the position shown on the screen there, and they wanted to know the next step, and I can see the next step, so I'm just going to talk about how to spot that in a moment. The other thing I wanted to mention is that Mark and I have started a Patreon page. These videos take a lot of our time, and while we love doing them, if any of you did feel able to support us by making a small donation to us each month, we would be most grateful. At the moment, all the videos continue to go out free. We're not going to put anything behind a paywall, and in due course, what we may do is put up, say, one video a week, which is for patrons. But I think that's somewhere in the future. But as I say, no obligation at all. But if any of you really enjoy the channel and feel able to, we'd really appreciate it. Right, without further ado, let's have a look at this puzzle. So this is a typical situation you might reach in a diabolical puzzle, where we sort of put in a number of digits that we've been able to find, we've got stuck, and then we've highlighted all the cells that can only contain two numbers. Now, here, what we have the opportunity to do is to use uniqueness. So I'm going to say nothing more, just to give you a chance to pause the video and have a look at it and see whether you can see the next step. And I'm going to talk about now what we need to think about. What we need to think about is this 3-7 arrangement here, and how it combines with this 3-7, because this is so powerful, and let me show you why. Let's imagine that we had either the number 3 or 7 in this square. Let's just say it was a 3, just for the sake of argument. Let's say we looked at the published solution to this puzzle and there was a 3 in this square. What would the implication of that be? Well, let's go to big numbers. So let's say there was a 3 in this square, a 3 in this square, therefore, because obviously we'd have a 7 here, because this could only be a 3 or a 7, therefore we'd have this arrangement. So we'd look at the published solution to the Sudoku, and we would see that we had this arrangement of 3s and 7s. Now, the problem with this arrangement of 3s and 7s is that it means the puzzle is not unique. And the problem with this arrangement is that there is nothing in any of the other squares in this puzzle that can tell you why this arrangement was any better than the alternative arrangement where the 7s and 3s are flipped round. So in other words, that's a long way of saying this puzzle has two solutions. And the way to show that is just try and picture these digits in your mind and ask yourself the question, what happens if we flip all of them round? So all I've done there is flip these digits around, and you can see that this has absolutely no effect on the column, the rest of the column here, because all I've done is change this number and this number over. It has no effect on the box, and it has no effect on the row either, because we know that the numbers 3 and 7 occupy these two positions in some order, but there is nothing different about this arrangement than when we had the 7s where the 3s are and the 3s where the 7s are. Now, what does all that mean? Well, that's a long way of saying, as I say, the puzzle has two solutions, and therefore, if we believe this is a good Sudoku and it only has one solution, this cannot be true. So, what can we say therefore? We can say this cell can never contain a 3, because that's going to force us into this arrangement of cells which gives us a uniqueness problem. Similarly, this cell can never contain a 7, because that's going to lead us to exactly the same thing. We're going to end up with an arrangement of a 7 here, a 7 here, a 3 here, and a 3 here. Again, impossible. That will have two solutions. So when we look at all of the possibilities for this cell, a 1, 3, or a 7, in fact, we're able to eliminate two of them. This cannot be a 3 and it cannot be a 7 due to uniqueness. Therefore, it must be a 1. Now, once it's a 1, all of a sudden the whole puzzle falls apart, because now obviously we have a 7, a 3 like that. This unwinds very nicely. This one here operates above to basically unwind like this, and you can see, I think, that the whole thing is chaining through and you get to a finished position very fast. So just a quick thought to remember uniqueness, remember how it works, remember why it works. It is an extremely powerful tool. Here we see it in its naked, bald form, but it comes up in some of the more esoteric logic situations that we do cover on the channel as well. So look out for those in forthcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic.